Hello, this video is to show how to make a histogram using the TI-84 calculator. It's similar to the TI-83 calculator. First of all, since this is the first time we've used the video in this class, and also using the calculator, the first thing we'll want to do is restart or reset the calculator to its original memory settings. To do this, we click on the second icon and then mem just above the plus key. And number 7, we either arrow down to the number 7 and hit enter, or just click on number 7. We want to do this for all RAM, so I hit enter. And yes, I do want to reset number 2 and hit enter, or just hit enter by arrowing down once and then enter. Once everything's cleared, I'll hit clear. This area on the right will show the key history of what I've done, and then this is the calculator here, of course. What I'll be doing is entering the data from table 1.2. So this is the average travel time to work in minutes for adults employed outside the home. First, I'm going to click on the stat key. We'll be doing this many times throughout the quarter. So stat, and then I'm going to edit and hit enter. If you did not restart the calculator, or reset the calculator, you may have data in this column. If you do, arrow up and hit clear once. Also, if you do not have an L1, you can do a second, this key, insert, and then click on L1 down here. Since I have an L1, I'll go ahead and input the data. I'm going to pause the video at this point while I input all the data. So I'm starting with 23.6 for Alabama, and then 17.7 for Alaska, etc. I'll go ahead and pause the video and do this on my own. Okay, now I've gone through and I've verified every number. This is a common error where the incorrect data was entered. So I have verified this twice. I've also noted that this is number 51, which represents all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Now I want to go ahead and make the scatter plot. To do this, I click on second stat plot, and I want to turn on the first stat plot, or the first plot, so I hit enter 1, and then I want to highlight on and arrow down and change the type. This is the time series. These are box plots from chapter 2, and then the histogram is what we want to do here. So histogram, I hit enter. I see that L1 is what I have in my list, and that's where I entered my data, and then the frequency is just 1. Now I want to display it on the graph. To do this, I have to change the window or change my zoom. I'm going to click on the zoom key, which is right here, zoom, and I'm going to arrow down to number 9, or you can just enter the number 9 this way by pressing 9. Arrowing down to number 9, I see that that's the zoom stat, and I hit enter. And there's the histogram for this data. If I want to change the frequency of the data, I can do that by doing second stat plot, hitting enter, and then changing that frequency here. One thing to note here on the histogram, if we click the trace or press the trace key, this icon is showing the minimum and maximum values within this strata, and then the sample size or the frequency within. And I can arrow to the right to get each of these. I'd like to also show how to do a box plot. This is from chapter 2. To create a box plot, or also known as a box whisker, I'm going to go back to the stat plot by doing second stat plot. I'm going to hit enter, or click enter. I'm going to change this to a stat plot. So I changed my type, and the style of box plot, that we'll be doing in this class is this one right here. I hit enter, and then I need to do a zoom number 9 again. Again, a zoom stat. There's the box whisker for this data. I can also do a trace. That's showing my median, arrowing to the left, my Q1, my minimum value, and to the right my Q3 and maximum value. So in this video I've shown how to do a histogram and a box whisker or a box plot using the TI-84 or 83 calculators. If you need assistance, you can see the Mark. The Mark staff can help you with this in greater detail. Feel free to email me or ask questions on the forum.